So today I am making the green chair from the Cutebee Dream Building Pavilion in 1/24th scale. I had started another video and had made the very first cushion, but then something happened with that video, so now I am starting over and we're just going to go ahead and start with the second cushion. So when working with the models and the fabric, this Beacon Fabri-Tac glue is your best friend. It holds and it dries very fast, and it holds very, very well. I absolutely love it, and I use it for all fabrics that I am working with, and it just takes a little bit, so we'll just do that. Oh, and I forgot to say, I already have the padding down between to give the seat a little cushion. And then you just hold the glue for a couple of seconds, and then you'll be able to go on with the rest of it. And this might end up being a little bit of a lengthy video because it does take some time to make these items, especially when you're trying to make it look as good as possible. This is probably the 6th or 7th miniature dollhouse that I have made now, and I thought I would just go ahead and start making some videos just to share what I've learned, and just I don't know, I really enjoy doing this, and I know lots of other people do as well. And so then we've got our second little cushion, and it is done. Oh, and okay, so then we are going to work on, I think it's this one here. I am just following the little instructions that come with each one of the model kits, and it looks like I forgot to cut out a little bit of padding for this piece here. So I am going to do that really quick. And something I should mention, these fabric pens are great for doing this because then you're able to outline your template piece and then you can cut it out. It makes it so much easier than trying to, glue your template to the fabric and then trying to cut it, or just trying to hold the template in place while you're cutting it. It's a pain in the butt and it does not work out. So I'm going to cut this out, and you definitely want just some fabric scissors. I use these pretty small ones. I think they're 4 inches. They might be 3. I don't remember. But they cut really, really well, and I like them. I also use really small embroidery scissors because they are great for cutting out a lot of these things because it is so small, and the larger scissors they're going to end up cutting off too much, and then you won't be able to use whatever it was you were cutting. Okay, so we have our piece. I'm going to stick it down on here. Just a little bit to hold it in place. And then to make my cushions really, really nice, I do always trim off the excess around the piece so that way it's not pushing out of the sides when you're trying to glue the main piece of fabric over it. And it just helps to make it look a little bit neater. Okay, so we have that there. And then we are going to take this piece that I've already cut out, and then we are going to put it on here. And then I always hate doing curved pieces because the fabric never wants to curve as well as you want it to. And so I'll just kind of start in the center there, get glue all over your fingers. It's so much fun. And then you just pull it really tight so that way it's going to be as smooth as possible on the top. And then you just keep going around until you've got all the edges glued down. Oh, a little too much glue. You definitely don't need that much. Like I said, this stuff works really, really well. And stick down. We'll hold that for just a minute. Probably have to put a little bit more glue up under just to make sure that these pieces stay down, because I hate the creases up at the top. It drives me crazy. I made a sofa, which I did not make a video for, and I should have, because the sofa turned out really, really well. And I will say it's the first couch that I made that didn't look like crap. I was very proud of it, and I really wish I would have recorded the making process on that. It did end up taking me 3 or 4 hours to do it, but I just took my time and okay. Sorry, I kind of lose my train of thought when I'm trying to concentrate here, just because I've really enjoyed doing this and I just want it to look as good as possible. So, because a lot of the videos I've seen for making these kits, because the instructions in them usually are not that great, and as you saw briefly in the booklet, a lot of it is in Chinese, and so all you get is just a picture of what you're to do, and you just kind of have to figure it out. And a lot of the videos don't have anyone actually speaking or walking you through the process, and I just wish that there were some videos like that. And then there you have it. There is the back cushion for the chair, or I should say one of the back cushions. And then we are going to make this piece here for the very back side of the chair. And then there's always glue. You gotta watch it because it likes to sit at the tip of the bottle. I'm waiting for my fine tip glue bottles to come from Amazon. And that'll be really nice once I finally get those in. And then I won't have to waste as much glue. But that's okay. Still just do as little as possible, and stuff turns out pretty good, I think. If I had the couch here, I would show it to you while I was working on this one, but I will have to just include that in the video I do when the whole house is finished. I do plan on doing another video for all of the other items that come with the house. I've only made 3 of them, or I guess more than 3, but I made the kitchen sink and the counter, and then I also did there was a toaster, some milk cartons, I've done the sofa, and then I've also done a table and chairs already for this kit. But I will do a video for the rest of them. And because I just want to share my joy of this with other people. And so we are almost done. I really, really hope that this comes out as good as my sofa did. Sometimes when you are working with the fabric, you'll have like the corners. So once you've got it glued down, just take it, snip it at an angle on both sides, and then it helps to clean it up and not be so bulky looking. And then I always, if I have any little tips like that, I just snip them right off so they are not in the way when I go to put the whole thing together, and they're not poking out anywhere. So I'll get that as smooth as possible, because even in the instructions it's pretty lumpy, and the fabric, you can see it kind of pinched up on some of the curves, and I just don't like that, so I try to make it as smooth as I possibly can. And then we are going to put these 2 pieces together. Just make sure these are good. And then just a little bit of the glue. I guess I should do it so you can see. And then we are going to put them together. A piece of glue buildup. And then there we have it. That's the very back of the chair. Okay. I like check and recheck and check again, because like I said, I try to make these look as nice as I possibly can. And I mean, they're not perfect. I'm still learning to do a lot of this stuff. I am going to get the Cricut Maker in the near future, so I can start making my own custom models. And I want to start trying to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so now we've got to work on the armrests. So just... Okay, and then I am a huge fan of the beacon glue. So this is just the, oh, I don't even remember what it's called. It's just a craft glue. It's really tacky, as you can tell. I have used this bottle a lot. I buy the large 8-ounce bottles, and I just keep refilling this one as I need. So just a couple of little dabs. And then we are going to stick those pieces together and make sure they are lined up really well. And then we'll do the same for this one. And again, a couple of dabs of glue. And then we put that together. So far I didn't get enough glue on it that time. But this glue, this craft glue, is real tacky, and just after just a few moments, it holds really well. It gets sticky, and you still have time to move things around and make sure that it's set up just the way you want it. And it's also a little stringy, so you have to watch that, because you'll end up pulling items off the table, and that would not be any good. Oh, so, okay, so then I've got the strips for that, those already cut. So we will just take one, and then I'm going to switch back to the fabric glue. And I'm just going to put a little bit, just going to rub it all over. And then this piece of fabric is going to be too long, so I always try to get to where half of the bottom will be covered, but I don't think that's going to work on this because this is so much smaller than the couch armrest that I had just made. So I will cut off this excess just to make it sit as level as I possibly can. And let's see. So that's set for a second, and then put some. I do want to start doing this stuff live at some point and have people craft with me. That would be a lot of fun. So just try to push the fabric into the crease just to kind of give it a little bit more of a armrest shape. And then we will put a little bit more here. And so I am just going to, because this is going to go on the inside anyways of the chair, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it over and glue it down, but I gotta make sure that that's lined up right. So see, you can adjust the fabric a little bit if needed. I had it a little too far over, so I'm trying to scoot that before it sets completely. And that way, because we have to cover the ends here with fabric as well. And on that, I don't follow the instructions and I don't use the template, as I found when making the couch last night, it was a lot easier to do it the way that I'm gonna show you I did it here in just a moment. And then we will glue that down. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just down there at the bottom just to hold that, and then I'm going to trim it down a little bit just so that way there's not so much bulk when we go to glue the rest of the chair together. Okay, so we'll let that sit and work on this one. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera. I don't have the best tripod setup since I just started doing this. I just thought it would be kind of fun, and you want to be careful not to get glue on the fabric. It's all over my fingers now. It does scratch off fairly easy, but we're, again, trying to make it look as nice as possible. Okay, and then add a little tiny bit to the front side. Yeah, we're already at 20 minutes. I am actually trying to do this as fast as I can, but as neat as I can also, because I don't want to have my videos taking forever, and I don't want to bore you to death. So we will. So there, we've got our 2 armrest pieces done. Well, I guess it would help if I put them in view of the camera. So then I just had some little scrap pieces of the same fabric I cut out. And what I do is I just put a little glue on the end and smear it. And then take your fabric and push that on there just so it holds really well. And then we are going to use our fabric scissors, and we're going to just trim around the edge. And it'll get really close. I will have to probably switch to my tiny scissors. And I'm trying to do this where you can see I am left-handed, and of course I put the camera on the left side, so my hands keep getting in the way, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But we just trim it and follow it around, and it pretty much, the seams are hard to see, which is just what I was going for when doing this. Because I just didn't want it to be super noticeable. So we just trim that out just a little. And then we are going to do the same thing on the other side. And then just take the other piece of that little fabric and push it on there just to get it nice and stuck, just like that. And then take your fabric scissors and cut it off. I just make little tiny snips as I go around it, so I don't make a mistake and cut too much or something. I mean, if I do, it's not like I can't pull the fabric off and fix it, because the glue doesn't completely sit up for a little bit. I'd say within 5 minutes it would be completely set, and then you would just tear it. So then we have the other side, which I'm gonna try to clean that up just a tiny bit with my tiny scissors. Oops, and I made a boo-boo, but that's okay. So these are my little embroidery scissors. They are very small, and they have a nice fine point tip, which is very nice for cutting really close. Okay, so I gotta wipe the tip of the glue bottle off. Spread a little glue, another piece of fabric, and press it. And then we are looks like I might need a little bit more glue. I didn't get all the edges, so if you notice you need more glue, you can still have time to peel it back, and you can just add a little dab nice and firm. Okay. Don't like that little corner right there. It's just kind of pushing up on me. And this green pleather is kind of stretchy. I actually really like working with that material. It's a lot easier than some of the others that I've worked with, and it cuts a lot easier and a lot cleaner too. A lot of the fabric that I've used for pillows, blankets, some couches has frayed really bad, and oh no, I cut it a little. And then we've got the other end. And so both sides of the armrests are done. So now, here I will pull all of that down into view and clean up my mess a little bit. Okay, so we've got all of those pieces there. And then we are, I believe the armrest is gonna go just like that. So again, more fabric glue, and we're just gonna put a little bit on the edge there, and then here we are going to slide it into the armrest and just line it up with the back. I'm actually gonna put a little bit of glue, since it goes all the way, I'm gonna, just to make it a little bit more secure, and then we just push that on for a couple seconds, and then we are going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we are going to push that side of the armrest on there. So then we have the start of the chair. And then now we need to put the bottom cushion on. So I'm going to run glue along 3 of the edges. Just smear just a little bit so it doesn't ooze out all over the place. Just little dabs. And then we are going to push that in. And then don't worry, we're going to give the chair legs. It's not going to stay sitting on the floor. So then we push that in just to make sure it's secured and all the way to the back of the chair. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. Alright, and then that is on there. So that is the bottom of the chair before we add the cushion. I actually think the armrest it needs to be scooted up just a little bit so it's in line with the cushion. So my mistake. Okay, so we've got that. We'll let it set for just a second. So there is the back of the chair. I like to press and press and press and press just to make sure. And then we are going to glue the cushion down. Now I am putting a little bit of glue on the cushion because we don't want it to fall out. And then let's see. We are going to slide that in there. And then there we have it. We have the chair minus the legs. And okay, so then, oh, I believe it does sit on the floor and it actually doesn't have legs. But I might add legs to it later. We shall see. But there we have it. This is the little green chair in the Cutebee Dream Building Pavilion. And this is the house that it is going to go in. I have already made, sorry for my lighting here, the table and chairs there and the brown sofa. So I will include those in my next video. There we go. It's the chair. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope to have you back at my next video. It's actually kind of fun.